I don't care that there is about 2 weeks left of summer, it's fall to me. So last time I did a stack for the summer season, covering all of the months of the summer because I swear every time I do a monthly like book stack, it never works out. So I did a seasonal one. So I'm going to do the same thing again for this fall. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sierra and this is my channel, Sierra Reads. On this channel, I love to talk about books and honoring Black women by creating multifaceted Black characters through books and through my own writing process. So this video is all about my fall books for the season. I narrowed down my list significantly because last time I had about like 20 books on the list, 25, I think. And we're not even going to talk about the statistics of how many books I read for my summer pile, probably about half of it. So this season, we're going to be more and more realistic with my goals. So approximately about 12 books in total. 2 of them are like on the back list, but mostly just 10 books for this fall season. Without further ado, let's get started. The first book on the list is Murder Your Employer. So this follows a group of students at a school called the McMaster's Conservatory, and it's a school that teaches people how to delete certain people in their lives. And so they learn all about the art of, MURDER. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not about to get in trouble with that. But it really just covers that at this school, and they learn how to delete certain people in their lives or have like a certain person in mind. And they actually fulfill to do like a master's program, which is the best way to delete somebody without getting caught. So that's pretty much what the book encompasses. I just started it, like I'm on page like 8 maybe, and so far it's interesting. And I am so excited to read it because I've been feeling very spicy, very spicy. So I feel like this is very much where I'm at in the mood right now. The next book on the list is A Mask of Flies. I'm going to take stickers off later, so if the stickers bother you, you don't have to hold off on that. That's a whole later problem. But this one follows a character named Anne, who is now experiencing in the moment a fake bank robbery. So she's a criminal, and there's a fake robbery, so now she has her injured friend and the cop that they're withholding. And so she ends up going to the cabin in the woods that her family has, that she lived in, and starts to uncover certain things about her childhood while waiting out for help pretty much. And her friend that's with her, Jessup, goes missing and promptly ends up dead. But Jessup comes out of the ground, obviously, so he rises up from the dead and he's knocking on the door of the cabin. But the thing is, it's not Jessup. So it just really just covers this whole, I guess, like, not really gothic, but a lot of elements of just like death and grief and just scarier elements of what she's experienced in her childhood, but also, I guess, entangling the current situation and how she pretty much got there, I guess. The next one on the list is In the Garden of Spite. I get most of my books from Half Price Bookstore, which is a typical store here in Illinois. So if you're not familiar with it, they just have books at like retail price. I mean, not retail price, a lower price. So you can see like literally it goes for like 26. I got it for 10 bucks. Okay, that is a steal. That's a steal right there. So this book is actually based off of a true story of a woman named Belle, how do you pronounce her name? Sorensen, who pretty much knows men to a T, pretty much. She knows like their ultimate weakness is women, and she knows that men hold a lot of power. So this was set in the 1900s, as of course men have, because obviously nothing much has changed, controlled a lot of resources, a lot of property, finances, women, pretty much, owning women too as well. So Belle doesn't seem to like it, and she ends up going on a killing spree. So yeah, so I guess this is pretty much a female serial killer that I have never learned about. So after reading this book, after reading this book, I'm going to do a lot of research on her because I am honestly intrigued. I'm very intrigued. And also the cover is just really cool too. I mean, you just see like all the bones around her. It just sounds so good, and I'm so ready to read it. So ready to read it. The next book on the list is My Sweet Girl by Amanda Jayatisa. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've actually read another book of hers called You're Invited. So I already know what to expect when it comes to like her writing style. I already know what I expected from her twist in You're Invited, but with this one, I feel like there's gonna be more. I'm just so intrigued to see like where it turns and just like how crazy it really gets. So this follows Paloma, who is our main character. She got adopted from a Sri Lankan orphanage, and she's had like the best of the best her entire childhood. And she actually ends up getting cut off by her parents, so she ends up having someone live with her in her apartment. And this guy named Arun Arun. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I guess she has her own secrets of her past and everything, and Arun starts to learn about it. But before she could do anything about it, she finds him face down, dead in his own blood. And as she calls the police and the police come over, he's no longer there. And there is no such thing as Arun from India at all. So this covers the twists and turns of her life before, I guess, before the orphanage, or even while just growing up. And it just really proves that no matter how far you run, you can't really escape your past. So that's really what this story really kind of encompasses. And I am so excited to read it. She's just another author that I love. Amanda's just another author that I've come to love when it comes to thrillers. I am a huge fan of thrillers, and I'm just trying to expand more of my thrilling, get into more authors, get into different, just different authors within thrillers, and just really delve into other characters, especially characters, people of color, main characters in thrillers. As like I also read Shanora Williams books, just like mixing it up a little bit because I love me at least a Jewel, but I wanna explore some more. So that's this one. Now this one up next is something completely different. A Dream of Waking Life, and I actually got this at the FanCon event that I went to at the Rosemont Convention Center. Sorry about that. And this is an independent author that I bumped into. I think, I was just like browsing around, looking at everyone's like amazing art. Everybody just has like all these tables up. Everyone's work looks so freaking amazing. I got a lot of cool stuff. And I came across this author and we started talking, and I was just like, this book is kind of fascinating. His wife also does coloring books. So, they had the table together. While she's selling her coloring books, he's selling his book. So I bought both. I got a coloring book and I got this. So I'm just gonna read the back because I feel like I can't really describe it as good as it sounds. I feel like you all should just hear it. I feel like when Matthew Willis wakes up on a cold steel floor, unsure of how he got there, he begins desperately searching for answers. What Matthew doesn't realize, however, is that this is only the beginning of a journey that will ultimately send him searching other worlds for the answer to numerous profound questions. The most pressing being, is he living in reality or in a dream? Or is he just an insane man in desperate need of help? So this is more of like a philosophical, psychological thriller story. and also on a journey of him finding his true identity while also trying to find the love of his life that keeps slipping through his fingers into different realities. So once he described it, I was like, I'm sold. Like, I want to read it. I was like, I want to buy it first. I was like, I'm buying that, and I'm buying the witch coloring book. I want both. I'm so intrigued to read it. So I'm going to do a whole separate video on this because it honestly deserves it. I want to just, like, showcase like indie authors too, and it was so cool to meet them at FanCon. So yeah, hi, hopefully you're saying this if you remember me, but yeah, I'm just so excited to read this one. Next one on the list is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I'm going with Foley. Lucy Foley. I've read her other books. I read The Paris Apartment and I read The Guest List, and both of them are truly amazing. So when I heard that this one was coming out, I was super excited. So this one follows pretty much a manor. So the manor is set on, I guess, like ancient ground with pagan folklore, but on the, like, I guess, like opening night, there's a fire, there's a dead body, and so now the police are trying to uncover what happened within the past 36 hours and what's going on with the guests, pretty much. That's pretty much what that's what encompasses in the summary of it. I'm excited, I'm intrigued, because once I read the summary, like, online, that I knew it was coming out, I was just like, ooh, that sounds good. Especially me, I'm a spiritual girly, so I'm very curious. All right, another book on the list is No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. And this follows three sisters, Emma, Juliet, and Daphne. Pretty much they fled their house about 14 years ago, but now Emma's husband lost his job and she's pregnant, so she has no choice but to return to the house where her parents were murdered in. Emma remembers the night of her parents' murder. Like, she witnessed the murder, but there's just more secrets, especially between the sisters and that night. So that's what really follows the entire story, is what happened that night. What happened that obviously her parents ended up dead. Were the sisters involved? That's what I'm curious about. Were the sisters involved? Did something happen within the family? It kind of reminds me of, oh God, which book was it? Not that one. Gosh, this reminds me of a book that I literally just read, and I cannot remember the name of it at all. But it kind of reminds me of just, like, like, no, obviously no one can know, or like, hey, what actually happened within the house? Like, did one of them kill the parents? Was there a lot of secrets within the family of, like, any, like, neglect, abuse, anything like that? I'm curious. So, new author, let's see if it's it. This book doesn't need an introduction, so I'm just gonna put it up on the camera. Yeah, so this is my first one of Freida McFadden. I'm very curious. I hear amazing things about her books, that it's like a quick thriller read, a quick mystery read. I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon. You know what? If I'm gonna hop on a trend, it's gonna be this one. The last book on the list is Death at Morning House by Maureen Johnson. And this one follows Marlo, our main character, who lost her house sitting job at a previous house that she was sitting at through an accidental fire. So now she is really trying to get back into house sitting, trying to get another job, and she ends up house sitting at Morning House. But there's a lot of secrets about Morning House, and the person that brought her there ends up going missing. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm very intrigued. I found this online. I think it was through Pinterest, actually. Through Pinterest, because I pin a lot of, like, thrillers. I've been pinning a lot of, like, gothic books too there. And I came across this one. I was like, ooh. I was like, okay, I'll save it. And then when I went to Half Price Bookstore, something in my mind was like, hey, check it out. It's like, remember that death book something morning. I was like, okay. I was like, let me, ask somebody who's working there. I asked them. They're like, yeah, we have it. I was like, oh. They're like, yeah, it recently just came out. I was like, oh. So I'm new to this. It's new. It's new to me, and I am very excited to get into it. I miscounted. It's actually 11 books, so I have 2 more books technically. And then that means it'll be 13 books possibly. Okay, so still not as bad as my summer stack, because my summer stack, if you've seen that video, the books were like all the way up to here. I had to stand up to really show all the books for the thumbnail. It was ridiculous. This one is a very interesting book, and it is called Little Eve. So Little Eve follows a cult that is pretty much just like anticipating like the end of the world, but they have like powers involved, and the cops come and things go sideways because someone's dead, and they're trying to figure out like, what the hell is this group of people? They don't know it's a cult. You know it's a cult by going into it. And there's a little girl named Little Eve who is said to like lead into like this whole like rebirth. There we go. I was about to say revolution, not revolution. Like to a whole rebirth. I don't know what to expect from it. That's just like, it was literally, it's just a quick summary. Literally, it's like, y'all, look at this. It's very short, to the point. So anything can happen in it. I'm excited. I'm interested because, I mean, a cult. Hello. I'm sold. And the cover looks so good, like very distorted castle, and the castle is just like, like the perfect reflection underneath. I'm interested in it. Now, this one was on my summer stack list that I never got to, so I'm just moving it straight on over into my fall one because there's witches involved, and that is The Ravens. I'm not going to give it a whole summary. I've done it before in the previous video. But yeah, it's going into this pile for that because obviously there's witches involved. It's university. I'm curious, that type of thing. But I do have 2 honorable mentions. They might, it depends. I might be able to get to them. I might not. So the first one is The Once and Future Witches. I feel like I've seen this before on Book Talk. Maybe not Book Talk. Maybe just like on Instagram or here on BookTube. But it pretty much just follows sisters James, Agnes, and Beatrice, who are suffragists of New Salem, and they're pretty much they're part of the women's movement, but who leads into the witches movement. They're followed by like shadows, sickness, hunted by forces, who will not suffer a witch to vote, and perhaps not even to live. The sisters will need to delve into their oldest magics, draw new alliances, and heal the bond between them if they want to survive. Witches are involved, so immediately I'm intrigued, obviously. I've had this book for a few months now. I just never got around to it because I have 2 bookshelves, actually. So this is just some of them. There's a lot of options to read. I'm just saying. And the last one is a book that I started. I'm only on page 62. I don't know. So this one is a toss-up, and that is The Year of the Witching. I'm trying not to DNF it because witches. But it needs to pick up. Like, I'm on page 62. Like, I literally just got to the part where they were talking about, like, freaking, I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to just reread it. Let's see if it, like, picks up better. Maybe I just wasn't in the witchy mood yet because now it's fall, it's getting there. Maybe it'll just turn all the way around for me. So hopefully I can get through this one as well. So that's the end of this video. Are any of the books that I have on my list on your list? I'd love to see what is on your list as well. You can drop them in the comments below. And until next time.